Shannon Sharpe is part of this nefarious part of the dark side of legal practice when it becomes profitable to file bogus actions against prominent people to coerce a settlement.
Did Shannon Sharpe really get someone from ESPN pregnant? That's the messy rumor lighting up the internet right now. The drama exploded after the NFL icon suddenly dropped the bombshell that he's stepping away from ESPN, and people are asking why. But here's where things get crazy. Shannon's shutting it all down, calling the claims false and disruptive. Still, folks aren't buying it, and some are saying there's way more going on behind the curtain. Between mysterious texts, alleged voice recordings, and jaw-dropping accusations, it's hard for anyone to just take his side without questioning it. Now fans are seriously asking, was he quietly pushed out because of this scandal? And don't forget, Shannon's name has been tied to drama with women before, so this ain't new territory for him. The big question now is, what really went down behind closed doors? Did ESPN finally stop backing him up? Let's dig into what's really happening. Because Shannon had everybody talking the second he made that exit announcement. He dropped a tweet on X that instantly set social media on fire. In it, Shannon said, "My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual." Then he added that he's stepping back from ESPN, but just temporarily to focus on his family and handle what he called false and disruptive accusations. He also made it clear he plans to return by the time the NFL preseason kicks off. Shannon showed love for everyone who's been in his corner, saying he's thankful for the overwhelming and ongoing support.
"I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right."
From his family, fans, friends, and coworkers. But not everyone stayed silent. Even Stephen A. Smith had something to say about the sudden shakeup. Now, he didn't go as far as to claim Shannon was innocent, but he did admit the whole thing hit hard. Stephen said, "It's been a difficult week from a sports media perspective, certainly as it pertains to First Take." Then he got real emotional, saying, "Shannon Sharpe became a friend. When I recruited him to come aboard First Take, he came on board and he did a sensational job. No matter how successful the show was before, he helped take it to another level last year." Stephen A. wasn't holding back. He said Shannon's exit was a serious loss for the show and for him personally. But here's the kicker. He also said it wasn't a total shock. When Stephen A. was live on air a few days ago, everyone was watching, waiting for him to break his silence. But he shut that down real quick. "I'm not gonna go there," he said. He made it crystal clear. He's not about to speak on guilt or innocence in a case he has zero personal knowledge of. Still, Stephen didn't hold back when it came to how he feels. He said, "Do I believe that Shannon Sharpe is guilty of what he's been accused of? Absolutely not. That's his personal take, and he stood on it strong." He said, "The brother I've come to know, I don't believe would assault or rape anybody, and I'm going to state that emphatically." But then he added a serious disclaimer, that his opinion is just that, his opinion. He admitted he doesn't know any facts beyond how he feels about Shannon personally. And here's the twist. Stephen even hinted that Shannon's lawyer might not be doing him any favors either. Let's break this whole situation down. Shannon Sharpe is now being sued by a woman known as Jane Doe, who claims he mistreated her, and it's all laid out in court documents. Their story reportedly began in 2023 after meeting at a gym. Jane was 19 at the time, and for about 2 years, the two were involved, including behind closed doors. But things didn't stay sweet for long. You remember that wild moment when Shannon went live on IG while he was clearly busy with someone? Yeah, that. Jane allegedly saw the clip and decided to pull away after that. But according to her, Shannon wasn't ready to let go.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do what you did to me.
She claims he started pursuing her hard, creating some seriously uncomfortable moments. Things get even more intense. Jane says Shannon secretly recorded their intimate moments and even shared those recordings with other people. That's a huge accusation, and she's backing it up. Her lawyer, Tony Busby, reportedly sent out an audio file of what's claimed to be a phone call between Shannon and Jane to multiple media outlets. And according to insiders, that recording paints a pretty complicated picture of their relationship. But Shannon's legal team didn't waste a second. They fired back, saying Jane only went public after trying to blackmail Shannon and failing. His lawyers claim she showed him edited footage of one of their encounters, twisted in a way that made it look non-consensual. Shannon's lawyer, Lanny J. Davis, came out swinging, claiming that the woman suing him still hasn't handed over the full unedited version of the audio to Shannon's legal team. He also dropped a bombshell. Despite what she's saying in court, their consensual relationship supposedly continued all the way until January 2nd, 2025, just one day after she allegedly asked for $25,000 per cheek. Yeah, that means exactly what you think it does. Even with these serious allegations flying, Shannon's been working overtime to paint himself as completely innocent. But he may have crossed a major line by revealing the plaintiff's name, Gabby Zuniga, to the public. A lot of folks feel like that move backfired badly. Then came the shocker. Shannon's team released 44 pages of text messages between him and Jane, trying to prove things were consensual. But the content had fans seriously disturbed. One text said, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it." Another read, "I want to put my tongue in your bleep and then marry you." But the one that had social media going wild, it was a message that read, "That's my daddy. I want you to put a big black baby in me." That one sent shockwaves. People online were quick to call it out, saying, "Put a big black baby in me" has to be some form of racism. Others chimed in, slamming the message as disrespectful and weird, warning black men not to fall for disrespect disguised as kinks. According to court filings, Shannon's legal team is betting everything on these messages helping clear his name, or at least swaying public opinion in his favor. They claim the texts are just a glimpse into a much bigger pattern of explicit messages started by Ms. Zuniga. The way they see it, this was a fully consensual adult relationship, packed with role play, fantasy talk, and wild language, all supposedly requested by her. But here's the thing, dropping those texts did not help like they thought it would. In fact, it opened the door to even more chaos. Now the internet's buzzing with fresh rumors about Shannon getting the woman pregnant. And some folks believe that's the real reason he was taken off air at ESPN. And honestly, fans ain't even shocked. They're saying this just fits a pattern, because Shannon's got a bit of a track record when it comes to this kind of thing. Check this out. He has 3 kids, and all of them were born the same year. No, they're not triplets. Shannon had them with 3 different women all around the same time. Let that sink in. He had 3 women pregnant at once, and now internet detectives are digging deeper. His oldest child, Kayla Shear, was born in 1992. His only son, Shannon Sharpe, also born in 1992, right when Shannon was balling with the Denver Broncos. Then there's his other daughter, Callier, born the same year too. But here's where things get shady. Kayla doesn't show up anywhere on Shannon's social media. Fans have a lot to say about Shannon Sharpe, and the comments online are wild. Some are even saying he should be under the jail for that alone. Shannon's admitted himself that he wasn't exactly father of the year, and yeah, all of his kids' names start with the letter K, but that's just a small piece of the bigger mess. People are pointing fingers at how he's treated the mothers of his kids too, and not in a good way. Why? Because this definitely isn't the first time Shannon's been accused of crossing the line with women. Back in 2023, his ex-girlfriend, Michelle Bundy, sued him for defamation, libel, and slander. And that wasn't even the main accusation. Michelle said everything blew up after she confronted Shannon about cheating. But instead of talking things out, she claims he got physical, forcing her down to her knees and then doing things she says were completely non-consensual. It didn't stop there. According to court docs, he pushed her onto the bed and threatened her, warning that if she ever exposed what happened, he'd destroy her reputation. And he didn't just threaten her directly. She says Shannon told her, "Any attempt on my part to disclose his transgressions would be met with a comprehensive campaign to use everyone I know to destroy you." That's some dark stuff. Michelle eventually managed to get out of the situation and filed for a restraining order. But what happened next was heartbreaking. She backed out. She later said she was scared of what Shannon might do to her and her child if she moved forward with the case. Michelle later spoke out about why she dropped the restraining order, and it's chilling. She said, "After I filed the restraining order, I was sitting in my apartment with my daughter. I had a basement floor apartment with a door leading out to the sidewalk, so I was right there, vulnerable." Then she shared the moment that made her panic. "Somebody came up to my door and said, 'Shut up.' She said she ran and dropped the whole thing right then because her child was in the apartment with her. Having someone come into my door with her there, no. That moment shook her enough to walk away from the legal fight, out of fear for her and her daughter's safety. On the flip side, Shannon didn't budge. He kept denying everything, just like he always does. His spokesperson fired back saying, Michelle Evans's claims are ridiculous and completely without merit. Shannon has had no contact with her for many years. But here's the thing, after everything that's come out, fans feel like they know exactly what kind of man Shannon really is. They've been digging into the details, and the picture forming isn't a good one. To many, he looks like someone who gets involved with women recklessly, gets them pregnant, then walks away like it's nothing, all while denying every accusation that comes his way. As the legal heat keeps rising, Shannon Sharpe's next moves are looking real calculated, like a man trying to dodge a train that's already coming full speed. Instead of stepping up and fully addressing the claims, he's been leaning into PR distractions and social media appearances, acting unbothered, while the internet keeps pulling receipts. Recently, he's been seen flexing on podcasts, laughing with celebrities, and posting motivational quotes like he's living in peace. But fans aren't fooled. They see it as smoke and mirrors, a desperate attempt to control the narrative before more damaging info comes out. People are saying, why is he doing press tours instead of facing this head on? And just when things were cooling off for a second, new whispers started flying around that there might be even more women with similar stories, some allegedly reaching out to media outlets quietly, waiting for the right time to speak up. That's why folks online are saying this whole Jane Doe lawsuit could be just the beginning of a much bigger mess. Behind the scenes, insiders say Shannon's team is doing damage control at every level, reaching out to platforms, cleaning up digital footprints, and trying to scrub anything that makes him look worse. But in the age of screen recordings and internet sleuths, nothing really stays buried for long. At this point, fans aren't even waiting for a court ruling. They're watching his behavior, the patterns, and the history. And what they're seeing is someone who keeps getting caught up in the same type of drama over and over again. With the pressure closing in fast, Shannon Sharpe's every move is being picked apart like never before. Instead of standing firm and addressing the serious allegations head on, he's out here acting cool, laughing it up on podcasts, rubbing shoulders with celebs, and dropping deep-sounding quotes like he's completely unbothered. But fans ain't buying it, not even a little. To most people watching, this feels like a full-blown distraction tactic. They're calling it out for what it looks like, a PR stunt to take the spotlight off the court drama. Why is he out here promoting brand deals and shooting the breeze with influencers when he's knee-deep in scandal? One fan posted. And honestly, that's the question everybody's asking. But things just took another wild turn. Whispers are getting louder that more women might be preparing to speak out. Word on the street is that a few are already in talks with media outlets, keeping it quiet until the moment's right. That's got people thinking this lawsuit with Jane Doe might just be the tip of the iceberg. Meanwhile, insiders are saying Shannon's team is scrambling behind the scenes. They're allegedly reaching out to media platforms, cleaning up old posts, and trying to erase any content that could hurt his image even more. But let's be real, in 2025, you can't hide from the internet. Screenshots, recordings, and receipts are everywhere, and people are holding on to everything. At this point, fans don't need a courtroom to tell them what's up. They're paying attention to the patterns, and the patterns aren't looking good. From baby mama drama to repeated accusations of mistreatment, Shannon's name stays in mess. As the tension keeps building, Shannon Sharpe's silence on the deeper allegations is starting to speak louder than words. With more stories creeping out from the shadows,
Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
fans are noticing a pattern, and it's not looking good. People are starting to piece it all together, saying this ain't just bad luck, it's a whole lifestyle. Rumors are now swirling that Shannon might have been protected for years by powerful folks in media circles. Industry insiders claim that certain execs at ESPN and beyond turned a blind eye to his behavior because of his star power. As long as he was bringing in ratings, nobody wanted to rock the boat, one anonymous source allegedly shared. But with social media turning up the heat and more alleged victims possibly preparing to step forward, that protection may be fading fast. Fans are now saying, this feels like the stuff they used to sweep under the rug, but now it's all out in the open. To make things worse, There's talk that Shannon might have used NDAs in past relationships to keep things quiet. While that's not illegal, it raises eyebrows about what exactly he was trying to hide, and now people are questioning. If everything was truly above board, why all the silencing? Even his supporters are starting to back away, unsure how to defend him with all these layers stacking up. Some are saying they feel played, that they looked up to him, only to be disappointed as more disturbing details surface. At this point, it's not just about what Shannon did, it's about how he's handled it. The quiet dodging, the media distractions, the legal smokescreens. It's all starting to crumble under public pressure. According to attorney Tony Busby, Shannon's team is straight up dodging key evidence. Remember that 10-second clip Shannon briefly mentioned in his public statement? Well, Busby wasn't having it, and he clapped back hard. He said, the only reason anyone even knows about the existence of a video is because Mr. Sharpe brought it up himself in that statement full of nonsense. Busby added that the video was actually shown to Shannon's legal team during a mediation session. And get this, Shannon was given multiple chances to watch it himself, but he refused. He declined, said Busby. We never made threats about the clip, and we're not about to start. So, if Shannon's dodging that video, what is he really afraid of seeing? At this point, people are saying Shannon better come up with something stronger than public statements and edited texts, because these rumors are moving faster than he can block them. The baby rumors, the secret video, the silence, it's all stacking up. But what do you think? Did Shannon really get this woman pregnant? Is he ever going to come clean? Or will he somehow walk away untouched? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. Hit that bell so you don't miss what drops next.